This is Priest Officer Lahal, the Israelite School UPK, Officer 5000. I'm right here with my man, Eden. Eden, right?
Yeah, Eden.
Eden, if I could, what do you represent?
I'm not part of any organization right now. I'm currently working as a research coordinator and at USC, and I'm also a city commissioner in the city of Cudahy, but I'm an activist for immigration, activist for a lot of things. But yeah.
Okay, you're an activist for immigration, right?
Yeah.
So you see what's going on with the Latinos, right? Of course, they're throwing our kids inside immigration detention centers, right? They're killing our kids, killing our people on the streets of America. What is the solution to all of that?
The solution to that is reparations for Mexicans, reparations for Guatemalans, for the U.S. intervention, for overthrowing their governments. So definitely easing restrictions as far as easing the process of migrating here, And what Trump is doing is the opposite. So
right.
In order for us to have a solution, is doing the opposite of what Trump is doing right now.
Right. Okay, now let me ask you this. Protesting and voting since the 60s. Since the 60s, we've been doing this right here. Just voting, marching, protesting. Is it effective in change for the oppression that's going on with Latinos and Blacks?
It's not enough. It's not enough right now because of voter suppression. We witnessed it right now working with the Bernie campaign how communities of people of color were standing in line for 5 hours to vote.
Right.
So definitely voting is not enough, but definitely we should vote.
Right. And I always say this. We can vote for Bernie Sanders, right? We can vote for whoever. Even if he's a so-called Hispanic or he's black, we put him in office. His kids aren't getting thrown inside immigration detention centers. His kids don't get killed by cops every day. He's not living in the ghetto with us. He's not going through the same struggle that we're going through. So I always look at it as this. How is he going to change anything in the Black and Hispanic community when he is not with us? You know what I'm saying? And what he's going to do, he's going to fight for America. Because if you're in that system, you're going to support that system.
Well, the difference between that and that, I know a lot of brown politicians who grew up in this country, and they don't even support the values that are. And we learned that the hard way by choosing identity politics. We told Obama he had an office, but he wasn't great at all. So just because you got brown skin or black skin doesn't mean you're good enough. So what Bernie Sanders wanted to do is first of all legalizing marijuana in a federal level and giving priority to people of color. That is true. I know a lot of brown politicians that would never even think of doing that. And the reason why we didn't win is because Bernie Sanders did that. I mean, he's not perfect, but at the end of the day, he had own billionaires donating. And meanwhile, we had Castro. He was very established man, politician, stuff like that. So, I mean, you have to choose something. Well, brown skin, black skin doesn't mean that it's going to have the best values for us. And we learned that with the
Right. Now going to another question, which is Black and Hispanic people. During the times that we're living in right now, should Black and Hispanic people unite?
Definitely.
Right.
Many of you.
If you could expound on that.
Well, because like I said earlier, that it used to be people from both of us. Just in that, we're both victims of racism.
Right.
We populate jails more than any other race. So just that alone, because we have been oppressed. So
bring it in, come on. It's too spread. We're too divided. We're too separated. Bring it in. Now we got an acapella.
And it's funny that you say that because Black and Brown, we have been fighting. We've been fighting. Like Long Beach. Come on, man. Long Beach is known for what? Gangs. Black and Black gangs, Black and Brown gangs fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? And what has that done? Nothing but separate us. Violence, right? Murder. At the same time, though, both races, both people are getting killed by cops. Both people are being thrown inside prison, immigration detention centers, crack cocaine, heroin, drugs, right? Abortion clinics. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're both targets in America. So what you said was heavy. We both are people that should unite. I wanna mention this too. Like, when it comes to prisons, who are the main people in prison? Black and brown, right? Other people don't go through the struggle that we go through. You understand? That's the truth, right? Like, when it comes to Chinese, Arabs, and whites, they don't go. They're not filling up the prison. They're not filling up abortion clinics. You know what I'm saying? The drugs didn't affect them as hard as it did the Black and brown community. So as a people, we are people that should unite. Now, last one. What is the solution?
The USA sounds dope
for everything. The solution to the Hispanics getting thrown inside prison.
Right now, we have a huge problem with big money and politics. Right. For a long time, this country is being ran by people behind the scenes.
Right.
So getting money out of politics, reducing the wage gap. Because right now, it's not even right now, at the end of the day, it's a battle between the bottom and up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most of our money is going to the 1%.
Right.
So when we give tax cuts, when Trump gives tax cuts to these big corporations,
right,
they use that money into offshore accounts, take it outside of our economy, out of our circulation,
right,
and we resort it. Instead of us giving that money towards the working class,
right,
that would actually use that money inside of our economy and actually give us more opportunities. So that is one solution right there. I also work with an organization called WCBI where we sued over 250 cities.
Okay.
So for instance, if you live in the city, Long Beach has districts, there's plenty of other cities like, let's say Huntington Beach, right? You have the mayor who lives on the rich northwest end, you have the council members who live on the northwest end, you have no sort of representation in the small Latino or ethnic communities or Black communities, right? So what we did is that we sued them and we sued them because they were unconstitutional where each council member has to be separated in the district. So now, once we separate them into districts, you have representation in those communities. You can get them better resources and all that. So it all goes down to grassroots. It all goes down to grassroots. So that's in each city it's a battle. So that's a good way to start. And that organization, we won over 150 lawsuits where they did transition to districts. And the founder actually was a part of that. So because of him, his name is Willie Velasquez. Hispanics, Mexicans doubled in politics throughout time. So that is a major solution. Being part of running for office.
Give them some lows.
Not So there's plenty of
back to open mic. We got a sister right here.
It's not just about
We got a sister right here. And we're gonna have two more
and
sisters.
researching who you're voting for.
Really quick.
Identity politics has to play because, like I said, we got Obama in office, but he definitely was establishment. You know what I'm saying? And that is a start right there.
Right. Now, let me last one. What about the idea of separation? What about the idea of Black and brown separating themselves from America? Now, what I mean by that is this. I'm not talking about Black and Hispanics moving to a different country. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about Black and Hispanic people. We have to stop. We got to give back what America gave us. What America gave us? America gave us drugs. Shouldn't we leave those drugs alone? Like, imagine this. Imagine all of us right here, we're protesting, we're marching, but yeah, we still get high. Yeah. We still on the heroin and the coke. Well, let me finish my last point if I could. Now, those are drugs, right? Now let's go into the holidays. Right now, Mexican flags, marching, protesting, strong, right? 4th of July, we're wearing red, white, and blue, having barbecues and carne asada, celebrating the holiday that the white man gave, that the white man won his independence while we were still in slavery. You know what I'm saying? So what we got to do is leave their holidays alone. Leave their 4th of July, their Christmas, and Thanksgiving. We got to leave their religion alone. I'm gonna be straight up. We got to leave their voting alone. We got to leave their politics alone. All of that. You know what I'm saying? We should govern ourselves. We should police ourselves and move into our own community and support each other. That's the solution that the Israelite School UPK gives to Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians.
Okay, so as far as the drug thing, we have a mental health crisis in this country. If you break your leg, you go to the hospital and you get that fixed, right? If you go through something traumatic, you don't go get mental health. First of all, it's not private. Because the government, we don't have Medicare for all. We're the only major country that doesn't have Medicare for all. As far as the drug thing, I support drug decriminalization for everything. Because Portugal did it and overdoses fell down 50%. Whites consume the same amount of drugs as blacks, and yet blacks get arrested way more than they do. So when they get arrested for drugs, for something that they want to do with their own body, they get arrested, come out, now they can't find a job. That doesn't give them any opportunity. So that right there is the solution, because they can get high, but we can't. They're getting high, but they're not getting arrested.
Right.
¿Y saben qué pasó?
It's our own body.
Después de la cuarta vez de que no estamos afuera de su casa, se movió. Se salió de su casa porque dijo que tenía miedo, que se sentían acosados.
Now, as far as the Portugal guy, I agree with that. That's why I feel like
ellos están encarcelando a nuestros niños y separando a nuestras familias. ¿Y saben algo? Ellos dijeron que se sentían incómodos.
As far as being realistic goes,
no me importa.
We can steer this shit, right? But in order for us to do that, it's going to take us we can work in the system to make it work for ourselves. You know? Because there's a lot of things that you can't do as we we become independent from the government. We have a lot of things as far as like federal stuff, as far as medication that people are taking, regulations, as far as a lot of procedures that we have in place. This country could be great. Because there are other countries that don't change. There are other countries that are not the same. And it's weak because we made it work. It could be great. It could be great because we have to. We did get rid of it. We gave LGBTQ rights. And I feel like that's what differentiates our country. And we all know them. I feel like right now Trump gave a voice to that community. That's why he didn't win the popular. But now we have to strategize to win the electoral college. We couldn't. I feel like it is to be realistic.
And we're gonna hold those
now you mentioned realistic. Now let's be realistic, right?
Because if they're not
now everything that's going on right now, right? The separation of families, everything we mentioned, the drugs, right? The murder, the rape, the slaughter.
The people in our community.
This has really been going on for the last 400 years in America. America has a history of murdering, raping, and slaughtering our people. Right. Now, are we honestly, let's be realistic, do we really think that getting money from politicians that voted is going to change that? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be realistic, because like I said, this is going to keep happening. This right here, we're going to march and vote for the next 200 years. And it'll still be the same.
I mean, voting has played a part. I mean, especially in California. Now, this might sound radical to you, but I see as a further solution. What's a little bit more realistic is actually California is way different than the other states. Other states are very conservative, right? And that's why Bernie won here. We won every single county. People in California want Bernie Sanders as president. They want change. But then it's not fair that we can't get that change because the other states, majority, 40 states are conservative. They get to choose one person. So what's a little more realistic is for us to, as far as California, separating ourselves from that country. Because I feel like this country needs California more than we need them. We are the fifth strongest economy in the world. So that's another. I like your ideas. I don't disagree with them at all whatsoever. I'm all for it too. But yeah, there's different ways. So like I said, California is way different than the other states. And we've got a lot of things, progressive things now. Legalizing or decriminalizing marijuana.
That's the end of the interview, man. I appreciate it, man. Hey, you got like a big story?
Nosotros somos escuela israelita, conocimiento. Inconvenient Black.
Power of manifesting. If you know what he understood as their destruction.
Tú eres un hombre hispano, negro, indio nativo. Tu lugar es aquí con nosotros. Nosotros somos tu verdadera familia. Deja de seguir la costumbre de nuestros opresores y toda otra maldita nación. Tú eres Israel. Nosotros somos la escuela israelita de conocimiento práctico universal. Órale.
Orale, what's going down? What's going down?
Orale,
We're right here. The late night show. Right here, Priest and Officer Malakma coming out, reporting live from Southern California, Sur Califas, Mexico, occupied territory. And what's going down? Raza, what's going down? Carnales y mujeres. You're tuned to another late night episode of The Inconvenient Truth. I'm right here with Priest and Officer 5000, the camarada, Officer Kamada. What's going down, sir?
Hey, shalom.
Orale.
What's going on, Carnal? You know what I mean? Another heavy night.
Oh, yeah. Another night, man, We try to go live when we go live. I know it's late night, but it's the weekend. I know y'all up, man. What's going down with that ass out there? What's going down with y'all, man?
You know what I mean? This is for the graveyard shifters. You know what I mean? For the people who can't go to sleep but trying to go to sleep.
Right.
Right. What's going on?
So it's right here, sir. Right here, just do a monthly recap. We midway through May, so I want to recap and talk about some things. So let me fix this camera angle. Talk about some things that been happening. A lot's been happening, from the hantavirus to Trump. The things he's doing, to Cheddar Bob or Chud the Builder. It's crazy. Apparently racism, is okay to do again. To go up and berate people and yell racial slurs at them, and then ridicule them for getting upset because you're insulting them is okay to do nowadays. That's this oppressor, that's this nation.
So like it's been okay, right? He's not the only one who's been supported for being racist. You still have that one woman who remember at the park, I can recall what she was saying. Remember she got like close to $1 million for being the devil that she is.
Right.
Ain't nothing different. And we're gonna touch on that spirit, right? The same spirit that touched down in 1942 is the same spirit that is in America today. You understand?
Right. Khan. And what is it? You cannot change what the Lord has made crooked. This oppressor has always been a crooked beast, man, and he will always be one. And the Bible says, the words out of his mouth were smoother than butter, yet were they drawn swords. And also, what is it? Never trust thine enemy. So God is telling you that.
Don't forget that it says that. So, like, if I could, don't forget
sir.
That also says that they go astray from the womb.
Right.
They go astray from the womb, carnal.
Imagínate, man.
So like I mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Malama.
No, you too wild, sir. Yeah, the wicked are estranged from the womb, as the Bible says. So much, so much is going
There you go.
on.
The wicked are straight from the womb.
Right. So where would it start, man? I think we should recap from the beginning of this month. Of course, a lot of y'all out there, we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo, and of course, it's pretty ironic to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, but you voted for Trump. You're a Latino for Trump. You love America. You call yourself Mexican, but you hate black people, And lo and behold, you didn't even know that Cinco de Mayo has something to do with so-called black people, And I figured that's something necessary to touch on, while we get started, Yeah, it was a few weeks back, but I'm recapping, so let's get into it, man. Want to share this little piece of history. Oh, dang it, it's on my other phone. Let's see if I can find an article. Meantime, but yeah, I'll briefly summarize it, right? Of course, for all of y'all out there who knows what Cinco de Mayo celebrated. Oh, dang, so like, sir, just give me 1 second, my battery. I'm telling you, if it's not one thing, it's another.
No sweat. Right. Well, what they know is what they teach in school. And everybody believes that it has everything to do with alcohol, partying, music. But the truth is far beyond this. What they teach in school is it has everything to do with resisting. When blacks and Hispanics came together to resist the same oppressor. You understand? That is the truth of Cinco de Mayo. And America does not want you to know the truth. They don't want blacks and Hispanics to come together. They fear that more than they fear weapons.
Right.
They go out and they drop weapons in our neighborhoods so we could unalive each other. So they don't fear weapons. They fear black, Hispanics, and Native Americans uniting. That's the reason why they drop weapons off. So we could unalive each other. That's the reason why they give us drugs so we could destroy each other, because they fear the day that blacks and Hispanics will come together as a family like we once did. But go ahead, Carnal.
I was gonna say what Cinco de Mayo really represents, because I know a lot of y'all out there, right, especially you oppressors, you think it's Cinco de Drinko. Like you said, brought out a second ago. You think it's the day to go put on a sombrero and a sarape and go eat tacos and go drink coronas and modelos and get drunk, make stereotype Mexicans. But this day it really commemorates a victory that indigenous people had over the colonizer, a victory that indigenous people had over the oppressor, over one of France's most, is he one of their greatest generals, or the nephew of one of the greatest generals, right? Napoleon III, right? Which was the nephew of Napoleon, right? And they overcame them.
Napoleon III.
Right, the nephew of Napoleon, I believe it was. Salaki, I might have that wrong.
Right.
But, so that they got together, right, under Benito Juarez, who was an indigenous Zapotec, and they fought against the French, and they won. You understand? They beat them in the battle, and and overcame. You understand? And of course, think about why today in America the 5th of May is bastardized so much by this oppressor. Think of why, they downplay. Go ahead, sir.
There's one thing that's very important that I'm not going to say you leaving out, right? But besides Hispanics that were in Puebla who fought off the French, right? You have so-called Afro-Mexicans,
right?
Who are really, so-called Negroes, because we got to take it back to what is it, the 1500s, when the Spaniards brought so-called Negroes, you know, into Mexico. And you know, it was a different flag. It was the same spirit, because it is the same goddamn devil. The Spaniards, the French, and you know what's that one brother that does reggaeton who went to Spain and started talking? You might have to get that clip as well. You know, these Tio Tomases, Uncle Tom's, Arcangel. Did you see that, Malakman, that brother Arcangel?
Nah, I haven't.
He went to Spain and he was talking down on Mexicans, right?
Damn,
but
really?
again, they're different empires, but it's the same spirit of conquest. You know, slavery, exploitation, and bloodshed against the oppressed children of Israel, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Órale.
You understand? And also they America, right? They had sent out their slave catchers, because Black people were fleeing into Mexico, and Mexico protected them. You understand? And you know, these people went into Veracruz and what have you. You know, that's when you have that brother Gaspar Yanga. I'm just trying to give him a little bit of the history, just to catch up to the Battle of Puebla, right? And that's the reason why you have our brothers, the so-called Negroes, in Mexico, and we protected them because they were our family. We did it in the biblical times, and we could show you that, and we did it in history. You know, and now we are people that is so separated, and we hate each other because of the oppressor. You understand? And the slave catchers hunted so-called Negroes like animals, and again, many crossed into Mexico looking for freedom. And that history destroys the lie that Blacks and Hispanics were always enemies. They were not always enemies. We were once united against the oppressor because we were fighting to resist these monsters. You understand? So you know, and now to catch up to the Battle of Puebla, because you know, in the Battle of Puebla, it wasn't just Hispanics or indigenous or natives. It was also so-called Negroes fighting alongside with us against our oppressor. But go ahead, you got it, carnal.
Come on, so say I found this real quick that I'm gonna share to summarize it, just for time's sake. So of course, you know, y'all always welcome to use the Google machines, as General Hyman says, and this is what Google brought out. It says the Battle of Puebla, right? Oh dang, I hate when it does this. The Battle of Puebla, celebrated as Cinco de Mayo, directly impacted Black liberation. By defeating the French in 1862, Mexico stalled Napoleon III's imperialist ambitions. This prevented France from aiding the Confederacy in the U.S. Civil War, ultimately helping to ensure the survival of the Union and the abolition of chattel slavery. The connection between the 1862 victory at Puebla and Black liberation is rooted in anti-slavery, solidarity, and geopolitics. Stopping the Confederacy, Napoleon III sympathized with the Confederacy and planned to use Mexico as a staging ground to supply Southern forces. By defeating the French, the Mexican army temporarily halted this plan, giving Union forces crucial time to secure decisive victories like Gettysburg and Vicksburg. A safe haven for the enslaved, Mexico had abolished slavery decades before the U.S. in 1829. In the years leading up to the Civil War, an estimated 200,000 enslaved African Americans escaped into Mexico, where the Mexican government and indigenous populations refused to return them to the U.S. slave hunters. The transnational solidarity, as detailed by the Zen Education Project. The original celebration of Cinco de Mayo in the U.S. was actually championed by Mexican and Latino immigrants in California during the Civil War. They viewed the Mexican resistance against French colonizers and the U.S. Union struggle against the slave-holding Confederacy as the exact same fight for democracy and freedom. So as you see, I brought that out. And you know what's crazy, sir? I'm going to say this, right? You've been seeing a lot of raza lately try to come at our black brothers and sisters, man, charging them for rocking sombreros and dressing up for Cinco de Mayo. You know, and this is probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but you know, seeing the spirit on the tribe of Judah, man, like let them rock out. You understand? Let them pay homage to Cinco de Mayo, because this is a connection to them.
Right.
This is a connection with black and brown right here, where we came united as one another. You know, and I heard a lot of y'all out there talk about, you know, you're gonna wear, you know, you're gonna dress up as I forgot what y'all say, like as slaves picking cotton or something like that for Juneteenth. Y'all a bunch of pendejos, man, saying that. You know, like just because you see a brother in a mariachi outfit, you know, let them rock out, man. Let them embrace the culture. Y'all aren't saying anything when you see white people wear sombreros and sarapes, right? And if a brother's being out the spirit and you're offended by him doing that, then go talk to that brother or sister. But don't try to, you know, render evil for evil, as the Bible says. You should have mocked Juneteenth because you're offended that you see a Judite, you know, celebrating Cinco de Mayo. You understand? Understand why they celebrate. Understand their intention. But understand also that Cinco de Mayo does have something to do with black people. It's their holiday también, man. Black and brown, we're close. We're much closer than we are divided. What is it? Farther apart, man. We think we're two separate people when we're really brothers and sisters, man. We're really cousins. And that's what we need to understand, man. You let this oppressor come in and try to make you think they're a separate race from you. They try to make you think that because you're lighter complected, you're better than them. You understand? And then vice versa, right? They teach the saying that because we're lighter complected, we're watered down and we're not full-blooded, you know, whatever. But this oppressor has pitted both of us against one another when we were really tight with one another, man, as what this showed with the indigenous community, with the Mexican community, and with the black community, man. They teamed up together to fight against America, to fight against the white man. You understand? For the evil that they've done. ¿Me entienden? And that's what we need to recognize, man. Orale, we got Michael Love in here. Hey, Shalom, Mak. Who else we got up in here? I think we saw two brothers. We got Tamaki, Officer Tamaki here. Hey, Shalom, Mak. No, of course we got Halak. Hey, Shalom, Kanal. So you know that's the reality of it, man. Like Cinco de Mayo, man. The tribe of Judah can celebrate Cinco de Mayo, man. And them showing love to Mexico, man. Y'all should embrace that instead of trying to find a reason to hate the tribe of Judah, man. You understand? To hate so-called black people, man. A lot of y'all think that hating black people, you don't get America to love you. When America will never love you, man. America will never respect you, man. If you want to charge somebody, charge these gringos for celebrating this day, man. Because this is not their day. You understand? Make fun of them on St. Patrick's Day. That's what y'all should do. When y'all getting mad about them, you know, black people rocking a mariachi outfit, and you're going to get back at them on Juneteenth? Nah, man. Show them love on Juneteenth. Support the tribe of Judah. Support black people on Juneteenth, man. But who get back at white people for celebrating Cinco de Mayo. That's what you should do. Go mock St. Patrick's Day. Go mock what's those white holidays that they celebrate, sir? The 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day. What else is there?
Yeah, what they should do is forsake those holidays. You know, they should really get back at the oppressor and forsake those holidays, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you, like exactly what I was gonna say. You know what I mean? You said it, they don't come at the oppressor for putting out a sombrero and a funny mustache and a sarape, but then they're gonna come at their own brothers and say that they're gonna mock them. And what you should do is hate the oppressor for mocking you. And how do you do it? You forsake his holidays. What's coming up? 4th of July.
Mother's Day just passed as well. Oh, that's another thing, right? Everybody was celebrating Mother's Day, no problem.
Before we segue, before we segue, I was gonna say, were you gonna add onto it?
Yeah, no, because it's all like all y'all were celebrating Mother's Day and whatnot, but not Salakia.
No, yeah, I wanted you to get a scripture. Can you give First Chronicles 12 and 32? Because this is one thing that Hispanics understood, right? We did it in biblical times with King David, and we did it in history. We was able to discern the times,
right?
And the Bible is going to explain it perfectly. How the tribe of Issachar, so-called Mexicans, right? You read it when you got it, Karan?
Khan. This is the book of First Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 32. And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do.
If I could.
Khan.
If I could, right? The understanding of the times is discernment. If you cannot recognize oppression, if you cannot recognize when the today it'll be the agencies like ICE, DHS, ATF, and what have you, right? The brutality, the terrorizing, the surveillance. If you can't recognize that, you don't have understanding of the times.
Right.
And Mexicans had an understanding of the times.
Right.
During King David's era. And we had understanding of the times when our brothers, the so-called Negroes, were enslaved in America.
Right. Khan. To know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200.
To know what we ought to do. You know what I'm saying? That we must unite with our brothers to resist the oppressor. Now, we don't have to do it with violence. We don't. All we have to do is repent, forsake that utterly disgusting lifestyle that America has has raised you with, right? Because everything is a learned behavior.
Right.
Forsake that utterly disgusting lifestyle. Come back to serve Most High God with fear, with your brothers. That's what he says. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, gather together, O nation not desired. Who are the people who are not desired?
Right.
And we have the understanding of the times. Today, you could turn on social media, automatically you're gonna see police brutality. You're gonna see Hispanics being kidnapped, thrown into cages. You're gonna see everything. Blacks and Hispanics going through hell.
Right.
And this is when we need to recognize that we must come together. You understand? And we did it in history. That's why we were able to come together during the Battle of Puebla. And we resisted our enemies as brothers, as cousins, like Malak said, family. And we need to have this understanding of the times today.
Right.
You understand? Black and Hispanics, we need to understand and recognize that America is an enemy to us. Now everybody's like, oh, everybody has been enslaved and what have you. Well, not everybody's in a detention center,
right?
And not everybody's getting shot in the back or getting a knee on their neck,
right?
And being suffocated. Not everybody,
right.
You understand? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we need to recognize and have an understanding of these times today.
Right.
And we have the biblical records and we have the historical records as well. When we came together because we are a family. You understand?
Right.
Again, we were never enemies to each other.
Right.
Today you have, we blame each other for this and that. Right? But who benefits off the hatred that we have for one another? The oppressor. Right. The oppressor is the one who benefits off the hatred that we have for one another, right? So we can survive this system. The system is built to destroy Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And gathering together destroys that strategy.
Right.
You got it, Carnal.
Now, if I could, sir, I'm going to share this real quick, right? So it says, how Cinco de Mayo became a holiday. That's not what I want, Salakia. Or Salak, let me read this. How Cinco de Mayo became a holiday. The 5th of May marked an unlikely military victory for Mexico in 1862, leading to the annual celebration we now recognize as Cinco de Mayo. Although the holiday conjures up images of raucous celebrations, Cinco de Mayo's origins are much different. The battle victory alone was cause for celebration locally, but Mexican Americans in the United States saw it as an opportunity to start a political movement over 160 years ago. Now the holiday is widespread in its country of inception, which perhaps surprisingly is America. Right? What historical event does Cinco de Mayo celebrate? Cinco de Mayo marks the Battle of Puebla. Let me see if I can go to this. Right. Often mistaken for Mexico's Independence Day, Cinco de Mayo annually commemorates a dramatic underdog victory that reshaped the course of North American history. Observed each year on May 5th, the holiday marks Mexico's 1862 triumph over French forces at the Battle of Puebla. Mexico had just emerged from a civil war in 1862. The so-called War of Reform broke out in 1858. Soon after, liberals drafted a new constitution aimed at reducing the power and influence of the Catholic Church during the armed conflict. Mexico had two governments, a conservative one in Mexico, led by General Felix Zuloaga, and a liberal one in Veracruz, led by Benito Juarez, president of the Supreme Court. The conservatives, who had the support of the Pope, won a series of initial skirmishes, but the liberals controlled the ports and were therefore better able to equip their troops. They emerged victorious in January 1861 when they retook Mexico City. The country remained starkly divided, however, with conservatives plotting their revenge. European troops invaded Mexico because Mexico was broke. After the War of Reform, Mexico had virtually no money in its treasury and owed tens of millions of dollars to foreign debtors. The sale of expropriated church property brought very little relief. As a result, newly elected President Juarez suspended payment of all foreign debt for 2 years, a move that prompted an immediate backlash from Spain, France, and Great Britain. With the United States too consumed by the Civil War to enforce the Monroe Doctrine, troops from those three European powers began arriving in Veracruz in late 1861. Spain and Great Britain almost immediately withdrew, but about 6,000 French troops pushed inland toward the capital, backed by Mexico's vanquished conservative leaders. France was considered extremely potent militarily when it attacked Mexico. In 1862, the French had one of the best armies in the world. Salaki, sir, what First Chronicles 12 and 32 read, it says, and the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about the Bible doesn't talk about Mexicans? Here's the connection right here. Where is it? Oh, wrong one.
But if I could, I'm not too. We have to understand too that America has turned Cinco de Mayo into a business.
Right.
You go to the grocery store, they're selling you avocados, cilantro,
right,
tomatoes, jalapenos. They're selling you beer,
right,
chips, guac. You understand? Like they made a business, and then how do you know as well? Because for May 5th, which it doesn't always fall on the weekend,
mm-hmm.
but you have, you know, they set up fights.
Right.
A Mexican, you know what I mean, fight.
Right.
On May 5th or the
right.
weekend leading up to May 5th. Canelo and so all about in school.
Right.
You know, they're going to tell you is that it has something to do with Mexicans and you party.
Right.
But they're never going to say that Cinco de Mayo is when Black and Hispanics came together to resist an enemy. You understand? They're never going to bring that truth out. Go ahead, Malakma.
Come on. So like it. France was considered extremely potent militarily when it attacked Mexico. In 1862, the French had one of the best armies in the world. Arriving at Puebla on May 4th, they were coming off a series of victories in Southeast Asia and Northern Africa were loaded with firepower, including long-range rifles that put the Mexicans' creaky muskets to shame. They were so overconfident, in fact, that they didn't even bother to properly prepare their artillery. On the morning of May 5th, the French tried to intimidate the Mexicans with screeching bull bugle calls and advanced bayonet maneuvers. But after a full day of fighting, and including 3 unsuccessful uphill charges, they were forced to retreat due to heavy casualties. After losing the Battle of Puebla, France went on to win the war. Mexico's victory at Puebla slowed but did not stop France's assault. In the wake of the battle, an infuriated Emperor Napoleon III ordered that almost 30,000 more troops be sent to Mexico. This time around, under a new commander, they were able to overrun Puebla and easily conquer Mexico City. Juarez and his supporters then fled to the mountains to conduct guerrilla operations, while Napoleon III installed Ferdinand Maximilian von Habsburg, second in line to the Austro-Hungarian throne as Mexico's ruler. That's crazy, right? They always put a foreigner in power. The French occupation of Mexico was short-lived. Back in France, Napoleon III was growing increasingly concerned that Prussia, fresh off victories against Denmark and Austria, would next try to reclaim the perpetually disputed territories of Alsace and Lorraine. Meanwhile, the American Civil War had wrapped up, and U.S. officials were exerting diplomatic pressure on the French and supplying weapons to Juarez's armies. With his coffers running low, Napoleon III decided in 1866 to end France's occupation of Mexico. Maximilian unwisely stayed and briefly fought on, surrendering only after his troops were routed to Querétaro on June 19, 1867. He and his top generals were executed by firing squad. And then it says, Porfirio Diaz began making a name for himself during the Battle of Puebla. Porfirio Diaz, Mexico's longest-serving president, was a relatively unknown cavalry commander until the Battle of Puebla, where he outflanked the French on their third charge and sent them into a disorderly retreat. Over the next few years, he won battles at Oaxaca and elsewhere. Following the war, however, Diaz became so disillusioned with his one-time friend Juarez that he unsuccessfully ran for president against him. He later launched a couple of coup attempts, finally seizing power in 1876. Except for one 4-year break, his reign lasted until 1911, when he was finally deposed by the Mexican Revolution. And then, of course, it says, Cinco de Mayo is more widely celebrated in parts of the United States than in Mexico. Juárez declared Cinco de Mayo a holiday immediately after the Battle of Puebla, but for many Mexicans, it has always taken a backseat to such events as Mexican Independence Day, which commemorates the start of hostilities against Spanish rule on September 16, 1810. In the United States, on the other hand, Cinco de Mayo gained traction during the 1960s when Chicano activists began looking for a way to honor their history and culture. Today, the biggest Cinco de Mayo celebrations are held in U.S. cities with large Hispanic populations, such as Los Angeles, which every year attracts hundreds of thousands of people to its Fiesta Broadway festival. And that's it, man. It's just like a little, So, like, so you there?
We could get the next story, but yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So, like, I was gonna say, I'm gonna show the next story ties in, right? I'm gonna show you the legacy of what Cinco de Mayo became thanks to America. This is what it became. Let's see if I can find that clip. Where is that clip, man?
And while you're getting that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Black and Hispanics had a shared suffering under slavery, under the invasion of these oppressors, the colonization, right? The exploitation, and it created a family alliance, and the empire couldn't fully destroy it. Now, they didn't win because they were mightier than us. They won because the Lord was against us.
Right.
But that resistance made brothers out of blacks. We were a people that were oppressed. And the empires tried to separate us. That's how they try to separate us, through oppression.
Right.
And we're going to have to resist the oppression. And how to resist the oppression? We hate everything that the oppressor stands for. Their holidays, everything. You understand? We resist against it. We become brothers, because that's how we're going to unite. You understand? You got it, carnal?
Yeah, Khan. I was gonna say, sir, like, just as I stated earlier, right? Cinco de Mayo has been made more of a like, its significance has been taken away, right? And the result of that is this. This is what happens now. Let me show y'all something.
Bitch ass nigga. What's up? What's up? What's up? Nigga, fuck off. Bitch ass nigga. What's up? What's up? What's up, bro? What's up? Hey, look at that shit. Look at that shit.
So, Cinco de Mayo became a day that commemorates Raza, the Mexicans having a victory over the French, to a day where Mexicans come together and hate one another and are quick to, want to unalive each other because of America. You understand?
Right.
That's what it became. This video went viral all over the internet, right? With that rapper, what P-Face, that's his name, P-Face, and I guess a cat from a rival name.
And we're not gonna say where the other brothers from.
Right, yeah, from a rival gang, you know.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, and let me tell y'all something, right? I'm gonna say this, right? This incident right here, because you know, there's gangs involved, comes to show you that gang banging, the whole culture of gang banging, is American culture, and is not Mexican culture, and is contrary to Mexican culture. You understand? Because had these brothers been more deeply rooted into, you know, their identity, into being, you know, who Mexicans truly are, this would not have happened. They wouldn't have, you know, wanted to be quick to unalive one another, you know? But this happens because of this oppressor, because of America. Because we're taught to look at each other as enemies instead of brothers. I'm going to go to the book of Deuteronomy real quick, Deuteronomy 28. And this is what American culture brings. I think it's Deuteronomy, is it Deuteronomy 28 and 43? I believe it is. No, it's not 28 and 43. You know which one it is, where it says for the man that is tender among you, his eye shall be evil towards his brother? The man, here you go. The tender and delicate woman. There it is. I found it. It's 28 and 54. And this right here, this is what the Bible says. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. Both them cats are really brothers, man. But because of the American culture of gangbanging, they looked at each other with evil eyes. Right? It says the man that is tender among you and very delicate. You know, what's the opposite of that? Is to be evil, man. They should have looked at each other like if they were carnales, you know? If they had a disagreement about something, you know what they should have did? They should have pulled each other to the side and hashed it out, you know? But because they don't know their true identity, right? They've been brought up in this place and brought up in hell, right? They look at each other like enemies. They look at each other like they got to take each other out. You know, whether it was for show or not, the fact that this went down at a day that's supposed to uplift Mexicans, right? Shows how beaten down our spirit is. How this oppressor took away something that can, you know, give us self-esteem. He took it away from us. And that's why that incident happened at a Cinco de Mayo event. That's why you can have a Cinco de Mayo event and you got to worry about gang violence. Because gang culture is not our culture. That's America's culture. That's the white man's culture. You understand? They do that to each other, man. That's why they got their civil wars and they got their celebrations and then they go all crazy. Because there's no brotherhood with this oppressor, man. You understand? But that's just to show you another connection to the Bible, right? That the Bible is talking about us. This is describing why that happens with those two brothers. But that video went viral, right? And it's sad that it happened at a Cinco de Mayo event and that someone could have easily been unalive right there. But go ahead, sir. You wanted to drop something?
Yeah, kind of like you have women and children,
right,
who are at these events, man, and they're vulnerable. You know what I mean? Because why? Because we want to assimilate to the American culture,
right?
There was I was watching documentaries on the oppressor and his lifestyle, right? You know, he's a real thug. He's a real you know, there's no more there's no one more gangster than the oppressor, right? And the oppressor, man, he betrays his brothers for gain, right? And then you have these brothers, like you said, like these brothers should have pulled each other to the side and gained each other, but because they follow the oppressor, they're ready to unalive each other, right? And this is the thing, that the Most High never commanded us to destroy each other. He commanded us to gather together. Zephaniah 2:1. That's a bedrock scripture. You know what I mean? The Bible teaches unity, teaches discernment, right? Sacrifice, and most important, brotherhood amongst the children of Israel who are the oppressed, right? The Bible never teaches self-destruction for entertainment. That's what it was. That's all entertainment, because the other brother knows that P-Phase is a rapper. You know, he wants to do it for clout. You know, nowadays, you know, people will unalive or still a chain something for entertainment.
Right.
You understand? When we're not supposed to be doing none of that. We're supposed to be coming together as a family. You understand? But we want to destroy each other because of the oppressor. The oppressor to us how to be unalivers. Right? Bloodshedding is the culture of the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? It was never meant for blacks and Hispanics to shed blood.
Right.
You hear me? So
at least not.
But yeah, Conker. Now if you want to get the next story.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
Okay, I was gonna say, like, the Bible, what is it? Exodus 20:13 says, "Thou shalt not unalive," right? Like, you can defend yourself, but to go and take your brother's life away just because you mad for whatever reason, right? That goes against what God says. But once again, right, the problem that these poor carnales suffer from, and I know a lot of you Uncle Toms and Tio Tomases out there be like, you know, this is what's wrong with our community, blah, 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 blah. See these kids? Look at them saying the N-word. They're a disgrace to raza, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's what y'all say. Not realizing that these brothers grew up in hell, are going through hell, man. You understand? We're in captivity. We're in oppression. You understand? And more than anything, we don't have our culture. We don't have our identity. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all shame them brothers for saying the N-word, for saying nigga. Well, here's a news splash for y'all, man. I brought this out in the last show. The Spaniards used to call Mexicans negros de la tierra, or negros. They're saying niggas because they niggas. You understand? Because we niggas too. You know? And as you know, a lot of that's gonna go over a lot of people's heads, right? But the oppressor called us that. Why do you think today, Salaga, sir, if I could, right? I don't recall if I brought this out in the last show, but I'm gonna say it here, right? You ever notice how they always want to call us Black Hebrew Israelites, even when there's Hispanics and Native Americans in the organization? What does that lead you to believe, sir? How do they view us? Oh, did he freeze? I think Officer Commandant I might have lost his connection. I'm gonna answer it, you know, for time's sake. That means they view us as black. Understand? We're viewed as negros de la tierra still till this day, man. They just changed the term from that to Indio, from that to Latino, from that to Hispanic, man. But what does that mean? That's so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're all the same people, man. So, like, sir, I don't know if you heard me right, but you notice how Go ahead, sir. Oh man.
Can you hear me, Ghana?
I couldn't hear you.
Check.
I can hear you now.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
No, you can't. How do they see Hispanics?
As black.
What was your question, Salaki?
How do
Khan.
they see us? They still call us black Hebrew Israelites. Right, because that's how they see us. So this whole time we're hating on one another, right? Raza hates on black people. Go ahead, sir.
Now go finish up.
I said Mexicans hate on black people hate on Mexicans, thinking they're two separate people when this oppressor views both of us the same. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. They used to have signs outside of restaurants, outside of public places that said no Negroes, no Mexicans, no Puerto Ricans. Why? Because we were all the same to them. There was no difference. And we said the same thing in the UPK. In the UPK, we say that there is no difference between black and Hispanics, right? Dominicans and Haitians, Mexicans and Central Americans, Puerto Ricans and Cubans. You understand? Dominicans and blacks, because I just seen a story that a sister, she's suing somebody because they calling her black, and she's saying that she's not black, the Dominican, right? When this no sweat, the Most High is a nigga, and we are God's chosen people. There you go.
Let me see if I can find the edited version. No, that's how they view us. So for all y'all out there, like thinking, that we're different, we're the suppressor views us all the same.
Going back to what you're saying, that a lot of relatives, right? Children, let them be, let them have, and then they act like they're so like then they turn around and be, why like, and they want to blame. Well, the parents are at fault too,
right?
You know what I mean? They should have chastised and corrected that child from a baby. You understand? But you have people who will say, "Nah, man, just give them a break. Don't be too hard on them." You have grandparents too. And
right.
Then when they end up in prison, or end up in hell, what happened to him? Why did he turn out to be like that? Well, you're the problem.
Right.
There you go. Those are the signs. In Texas, I think it even has a date right there.
Yeah, it says 1929. I mean,
that's
all
crazy.
You got to.
It said no dogs.
Yeah, no dogs, no negros, no Mexicans.
Who as Jesus called God, but the true dog is the oppressor. Christ himself called settler an oppressor. Called her
right.
a dog
right.
in the Bible.
Right. I mean,
perra.
Let me see. Hold on, Salakia. Salakia. So speaking of which, we can segue into the next story whenever you want, sir.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I'm ready, gonna.
Come. So you know that was
I don't want to go too late either.
Nah, come. We can, you know. So just like there was Cinco de Mayo, what other holiday did we have? We had Mother's Day, right? And I know a lot of y'all, you know, talk about decolonizing and pro-indigenous, and I don't follow the Bible because it's foreign. I don't celebrate these foreign holidays. How many of y'all were celebrating Mother's Day? Oh, let me clarify. How many of y'all were celebrating Mexicans' Mother's Day? It just passed this past Sunday, not this, you know.
They hardly celebrate Mexican holidays Mother's Day, but if they did, they're two-time losers. You know what I mean? Because
right,
they will be out there that first Sunday. What is it? The first Sunday or the second Sunday? One of those.
Right.
And this is what you don't know, that the Mother's Day is possible because of Anna Jarvis.
Right.
Anna Jarvis and what's the other one? I forgot the other one, but it really goes back to ancient times. Goes back to the Greeks, the Romans. The Greeks worship Rhea, and the Romans worship Cybele. Right. And when you celebrate Mother's Day, you're really worshiping these deities. And the Most High said, "Thou shalt have no." You understand? And the Bible does honor women, mothers, so like
right,
honor your mother, but you have to do it every day, not just once a year. You know what I mean? You don't even pick up your mother's phone call, but on Mother's Day you go out, get flowers, get strawberries, go take her out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
If you really love your mother, you would do it on a regular day. You wouldn't wait for the oppressor to remind you that your mom exists. You will plan a day for your mother. You know, man, my mother, she raised me up under discipline, under correction, under order. She deserves, you know what I mean, these gifts. She deserves honor.
Right.
But these mothers days, Jenny 6ix9ine said, that she's gonna be a 304 if she needs to pay and provide for her children. What have our women become?
Right.
They've become utterly disgusting 304s, and they learned that from the oppressor. What did Jeremiah Hyman say? That the forefathers unalive so they could live like Pamela Anderson, Jana Jameson.
Right.
You know, but the Bible says that there ain't no 304s of the daughters of Israel.
So like you. Dang. So like you there, sir?
Like you.
Nah, no sweat.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So like you were going in and out for a second.
It's buffering.
Yeah.
You got it, come out. It's on my end is buffering.
Yeah. So like I'm trying to find that that video of her. Man. Let's see if I can find it right here. Might have put it in here. Oh, I know we could talk about also también, man. Oh, you know what we should talk about? This is latest news as well.
What's that, Carnal?
I know you saw that about Ramon Ayala.
Oh, his son?
Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
Ramon Ayala and Jenny 69, man. That's crazy.
Man, look, we definitely need to talk about that brother that went to Spain. That Arcángel.
Come on. Let me find.
I don't know about the Ramon Ayala story, man.
You don't want, okay. You know, I know that came out. What the hell? Someone said
That's
that
wild.
I read
They're being sued for $25 million.
I had the Jenny 69 video right here, sir. Ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Carnal.
On top, soy la 69. Soy la chica que salió de Riverside. Bitch, I don't give a fuck if I have to sell pee, if I have to fucking shake ass for money to fucking feed my kid. Bitch, I don't give. Jenny 69 always comes on top. Soy la 69. Soy la chica que salió de Riverside. Bitch, I don't give a fuck if I have to sell pee, if I have to fucking shake ass for money to fucking feed my kid. Bitch, I don't give.
Man, so like a Carnal, if I could.
If I could, sir, there's your happy Mother's Day.
Well, she should have to flip burgers.
Right.
I don't care if I have to do Uber.
Right.
To feed my kid. You know what I'm saying? That's what she should have said. Instead, she's over like the oppressor. You understand? And
right.
and that is false empowerment.
Right.
That type of mother destroys the children. The children grow up to be terrible without the Most High God's laws. That's the reason why the Most High God warned the daughters of Israel not to be 304s. There's a new ring. What is? I think it's ringworm.
Yeah, I saw that.
Disease. All right, there's monkeypox. There's all like you're not afraid of contracting a STD, a STI. You understand? And the reason you're not afraid is because you have an unclean spirit on you. The unclean spirit is to destroy you. And again, if you don't discern, the times, you're going to be destroyed in these times. Our sisters need to wake their game up. I remember I seen this one. You ever seen that one where the dude interviews? I think it's called a white underbelly.
Soft white underbelly. Like you talking about Little Kelpie?
You know what I'm talking about, Malama?
Yeah, soft white underbelly, right?
Soft white underbelly. Yeah, and there's a sister, right? She's a Judite sister, but the mom is she sells herself on Figueroa, and her daughter does the same thing.
Orale.
Where did she learn that from? That's another thing I was going to say earlier. The reason why these brothers were unaliving themselves, and the reason why these sisters are out there, they're really unaliving themselves because they're going to contract some type of illness, and they're going to get somebody sick, unalive them. But that was done through the slavery. When the Spaniards came, right? Christopher Columbus,
right?
He was selling our sisters. When the Spanish came, they indoctrinated us by the sword. That's the reason why we still under the same indoctrination. Catholicism, Christianity, right, has nothing to do with the Bible, but it has everything to do with the oppressor, slavery, exploitation. Brothers and sisters who turn out to want to lie themselves, brothers and sisters who want to destroy themselves to be providers. You're gonna say, she said she's willing to sell some pee,
right?
And can't recall what's the other thing she said. You know, that's not an honorable mother. That's not a mother that you should honor. The type of mother that you should honor according to the Bible, she needs to have wisdom and understanding. You understand? She needs to teach discipline. She needs to teach order. You understand? She needs to teach the most. When I say teach, right, under the father's instruction.
Right.
A lot of these kids are terrible because the father is not in the house. Because the mother has been a 3 or 4, and you know, you can't keep a woman like that.
Right.
But go ahead, Carnal. You got something to say? It's like,
yeah, come with cons. So you know, she said all that, right? So like you, and I know you checking the comment section, sir, real quick. But meantime, you know, just she said all that stuff. She said, "I don't care if I have to sell pee."
Oh no! Sorry.
And you know, what does she say? But basically, saying to support your kids. Why would you do that to your kids? You think your kids want? You think your kids want their honor and knowing that you're you know, your mom, you know that you do that, you know. That's your happy Mother's Day right there, man. That's what Mother's Day represents. That's the Mexican Mother's Day. So like so like sir, you know, you understand that's the Mexican Mother's Day right there, right? That's what it's sharing. Let me show y'all where it originated from. Mexican Mother's Day. Oh man, we're gonna share this and for people commenting just real quick, we'll get to you in a second. We're gonna talk about what we gotta talk about first. I don't know if you see that, sir. You already done contradicted himself.
Yeah. This is what I want to. This is what I want to know. He wants to know if we read Hebrew. I want to know if your family that you descend from, if they do the what's it called? Oh man, so like go ahead, Kana. The amoyo.
Right. No, I also have a question real quick, right?
The mitzvah pay.
The mitzvah pay.
Did your family perform the mitzvah pay? Right, because it is not biblical.
Right.
But go ahead, Karnal.
I'm just gonna read this real quick and then actually want to touch on this subject that he brought out because he says something that I want to address, right? And this is how you know I'm gonna tell something to all my carnales y mujeres out there, right? When you get these Christians and apologists and fake and small hats that want to come at you, want you to prove who you are. Imposters, right? Yeah. So I like the term small hat. Small hat's pretty catchy. Real quick, when you're celebrating
gutter rat.
Gutter rats. Mexican Mother's Day, Dia de las Madres, right, is celebrated on May 10th each year. Let me share the screen. Each year, rather than the second Sunday in May, like in the U.S., it was established to honor the immense cultural value of motherhood. Good night. There's your cultural value of motherhood right there with Jenny 69, and holds deep historical roots. The origin, inspired by the U.S. holiday, Journalist Rafael Alducin of the newspaper Excelsior proposed creating a national day to celebrate Mexican Mother's Day in 1922. It was a massive hit and officially declared a holiday by the government in 1940. The date selection. May 10th was specifically chosen because May is traditionally recognized as the month of the Virgin Mary and the Virgen de Guadalupe in Mexican Catholic culture. Additionally, at the time, many Mexican workers were paid every 10 days, ensuring families would always have money for the celebration. How it's celebrated. It is a massive, highly prioritized celebration. Families typically gather for large meals, and mothers are often serenaded early in the morning by their children or hired mariachi bands. But I want to touch on the origin. It comes from the U.S. It was inspired by the U.S. And then it comes to worship the La Virgen de Guadalupe, which is Catholic culture. For all you that claim to be decolonizing, right? Well, that's the proof that y'all still following the colonizer if you were celebrating this day on Sunday. You understand? Because this comes from America. This comes from Catholicism. It's not indigenous. And that's just something I wanted to share and touch on, And you gonna honor Jenny 69? But that was it, man.
Right.
He said, this is funny. He said, if you don't, I don't know, Salaki. Was there anything you wanted to add to that, sir?
No swear. But this is what we do know. Ata lo Yahudi.
He said, Salaki, sir.
Remember the other one? The other one. The other one said, it's not Yahuda, it's Yahudim.
Yahudi.
This is the thing, that you don't speak ancient Hebrew. You don't speak biblical Hebrew. You speak the modern Hebrew, the Yiddish. That's garbage.
Right. If I could, this is such a, even right here on his argument, right? He said, if you don't know Hebrew, then how are you an Israelite? There are 100,000 Mexican Jews in Mexico City. They know Hebrew. So you telling me every Jewish person knows Hebrew? Does every Jewish person know Hebrew? You ran into every Jewish person and they all know Hebrew, Daniel Adamek Miller. That's one question, right? Because you're saying you have to know the language. How many Mexicans today don't know Spanish? Are they no longer Mexican because they don't know Spanish? That's one, right? And here's the other one. You said your family descends from Judah, Levi, and Dan. So, sir, I got a quick question, right? You say your family descends from that, and then you just said you're not Jewish. You're not a Jew. So, what's going on here? If you're not a Jew, why does it matter where your family descends from then? And then here's another thing, right? What happened to the tribe of Dan, sir? If I could recall. Why is it different, Daniel?
The tribe of Dan got
it got absorbed, right? The tribe of Dan was no more and got absorbed
into Manasseh.
Right. Know how he said
they got absorbed into Manasseh, but
right.
You buddy said I was not a Jew in Hebrew. Yeah, you're not. You're damn right. I can also speak your bastardized language, but tell me if you understand this. Atala'a Yahawada. You don't know that. They were punished. Dan got excommunicated. No, they did not. And got absorbed into the tribe of Manasseh. You don't know the prophecy. Right.
How do you not know that, Daniel? You said Judah. What did he say?
I didn't say it in Hebrew. I said it in your bastard language.
Right.
Because if I was to say it in Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, I would say Atha La'a Yahawada. That's what I would say.
Right.
You know, but again, you're the one that's supposed to answer these questions. Answer me this. Did a rabbi perform the misbah on you or any of your relatives who you claim are from the tribe of Judah and Levi?
Oh, wait. Salakia, sir. Salakia, if I could, right? He just said he doesn't speak Yiddish. Right? So wouldn't that to you be Hebrew?
No, it's different.
Daniel?
Some of it, no, they have modern Hebrew. They have modern Hebrew, and then they also have the Yiddish, right? But
so like if I could, sir, real quick, I would tell. He said he was from what is it, Judah, Levi, and Dan. Why don't you say Judah, Levi, and Manasseh, Daniel? If you're really those people, you should know your history, right? You're saying in order to be an Israelite, you have to know your language. Well, wouldn't that also mean you would have to know your history? You're showing me you don't know your history, and you're showing me you don't know your language. So here you're contradicting yourself.
Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit of your history. I'm gonna tell you a little bit of your history, Daniel. Right? The Hebrew that you speak, right? I'm gonna tell you Eleazar ben Yehuda, he played a big role in the rebirth of the modern Hebrew. Right? Up until the Zionist movement, more than 90% of the so-called Jewish, the Ashkenazi, Sephardic, and the what's it called? The Mizrahi did not speak Hebrew at all. Right? And this devil, Eleazar ben Yehuda, taught them Hebrew in a few years to make them appear legitimate. You understand? You guys are not the legitimate Israelites. Eleazar ben Yehuda, he played a big role in the rebirth of the modern Hebrew.
Right. If I could, sir, right?
You don't know the Torah. Would you know mud? Because it belongs in the mud. You don't know the Torah because the misbah, you never answered that question. Did a rabbi perform misbah or a moya? Did he or did he not? Answer that question.
Let's see if he answers. He
has an answer, right?
He hasn't answered yet. I wish I had a clock ticking.
He wants to hide. He wants to hide that part. It was just gonna do it.
Yeah, that's right. So like, let me see if I can find the right soundbite, man. Let me see if I find a ticking clock.
Yes. Say Khan. Say Khan or say but okay. So say Khan or La'a. Did a rabbi perform the misbah? Khan or La'a? Yes or no? He said he had the circumcision. So he's saying that a rabbi performed fellatio on Daniel.
Good night.
And you can see, you know, he looks half a sodomite.
Right.
And the misbah is biblical. It is not in the Torah. Putting your mouth on a child penis is not in the Thawara. Right. It is not. You understand? Right. That comes from Talmudic beliefs. Because you guys are sexual deviants.
Right.
your rabbis would be in the Epstein list.
Right. Police be upon them. Right. I was say something else he said, right?
It's not a mitzvah.
He said this is, and here Daniel, where's that in the Bible?
We know what the Torah is.
Right.
You understand? We know what the Torah and the Tanakh. We know what it is.
Right.
You understand? But you're not gonna find the Misbah in either of those books, in any collection of the books. You're not gonna find that. The Talmud is an interpretation of the the Talmud has nothing to do with the Torah. The Talmud says that you can abuse a child and it's like poking an eye. You understand? that is disgusting. So the Most High never condoned a grown man putting his mouth on a baby's rod.
Right.
That's the reason why these babies have herpes.
Right.
Because it is not holy. It is not holy.
Right. It is not of God. You know, if I could, sir, right, real quick.
I was gonna. You and your people are utterly disgusting animals, sexual deviants, imposters.
Right, imposters, exactly.
That is disgusting, man. He had another man put his mouth on his rod.
Right. Listen to what he said, sir.
It comes from the oral. It comes from the oral that a rabbi put the same mouth that the rabbi put on a baby's rod. That's where the Talmud comes from. That's the oral. Not even a law, because it's not in the Bible.
Right.
It's not in the Thawara.
Right. Right, sir. Here's what you don't understand, Daniel.
Give me the scripture. Give me the scripture. Hold on, if I could, carnal.
Go ahead, sir.
Give me chapter and verse where the Most High said to put your mouth on a baby penis. Do it right now. Show me where Moses did that. And the Levites.
If I could also, this devil said that, you know, we're uneducated.
According to the Thawara, show me where the Kahan did that in the Torah or the Tanakh. Show it.
I need that ticking clock sound. Let me see what I can use. Yeah, we'll use this one.
And that everything, the oral law that was given to Moses put it on stone tablets. Moses put it down in the 5 books. Where in the 5 books do you find a grown man putting his mouth on a baby's penis?
Right.
Show it. Moses did receive the oral law. He put it on stone tablets.
Right.
The Bible says that it was passed through stone tablets. He came down the mountain and he saw what his people were doing. He destroyed them tablets.
Right.
But guess what? He still put them down in the first 5 books.
Right.
So show it in the first 5 books. Show it. That's not the 10. That's not the 10 Commandments. He came down with the stone tablets written with the finger of the Most High.
Right.
I'm not talking about the 10 Commandments either. It was more than the 10 Commandments. You understand? Because he had the book of the Levitical law, where you find the holy convocations. You understand? The the Ka Kodash, right? The holy feast. Where in the Torah do you find a grown man putting his mouth on a baby's rod?
Right. If I could, sir, I just wanted to ask him
You
this, right?
understand?
Because
So, this is the thing. Every time they speak to somebody, oh, it was an oral law. Guess what? Moses wrote down the oral law.
Right.
He put it down. He put it down in the scrolls. You understand? Now he's saying
Right.
go to Google. Why do I need to go to Google, man? When we have the Torah, don't you believe in the Torah? Where do you find a man? You know what? I'll tell you something. You're not gonna find it because it is not in there.
Right.
You understand? It is in you and your people's belief. That's why you guys are utterly disgusting.
Right.
Go ahead, Malama. You were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, right. He says some things that I needed. I
he
need
said
him to
it was
explain.
passed down to protect the and this is the thing. This is how you know the Most High wants to protect you guys from yourself, because you guys are getting herpes.
Right.
And the sin is where the herpes is.
Right.
The herpes is in that baby's rod. And who put it there? The rabbi.
Right.
Those babies need protection from those rabbis.
Hey, let me put a put a picture up.
He's disgusting.
We're disgusting, right? We're disgusting right now.
Go ahead, Mark.
There you go. They're right there for you. What's his name? Daniel.
He's saying we're nuts, but the rabbi puts his mouth on the baby's nut.
Hey, you're not the same dumbass Justin, are you? Is your name Daniel now? Because you're saying the same thing. He's now we gotta be Edom, sir. Now we gotta be Edom, and we gotta be. Are you the same pendejo?
Right.
You're the same.
That's his family.
Here's your oral tradition. Yeah, here's your oral tradition, right?
That's your oral tradition.
Right here, right? Tribe of Manasseh, or what is it? Tribe of Dan. How the fuck are you the tribe of Dan when it got observant to Manasseh? You understand? How are you the tribe of Dan? And you said you were what did you say? You said Judah, Levi, and Dan. You said you were Judah, Levi, and Dan when Dan got absorbed into Manasseh. You didn't say Manasseh, and that's how I know that you're not following the Bible or the Torah as you claim. Go ahead, sir.
Answer me this. You guys claim to be Judah and Levi, and then you say Dan. Well, where are the rest of the tribes? If you know where Dan is, that means that you should know where the rest of the tribes are at. Where are the rest of the tribes? Where?
Right.
You understand? And that is an utterly disgusting custom that does not come from the Most High God. You do not follow the Torah, because if you did, this custom would not be performed.
Right.
He said to stop the bleeding. God damn.
Good night. That is disgusting. But you want to say we're disgusting? What did he say? Right. So, hey, Khan, the sister said it. Nasty, sick bastards. Yeah, that's exactly what he is. You know, he's a nasty, sick bastard.
Mama Czar.
Right. Mama Czar. That's right. You know, and how you know, like, you gonna tell. Then you said it comes from. Where in the Bible does it say your tribe comes from your mother? He said, "Let me see your."
Let me ask
Go
him
ahead,
this.
sir.
Let me ask him this though, because he says that the tribes will be gathered soon. Well, the prophecy is that the tribes will be gathered when the Messiah comes back, Yahushua. What are your people doing in the Holy Land? We're supposed to be gathered when the Messiah comes back. But the Bible does say this, that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
Right.
You understand? You are the bastard that the Bible speaks of. Matter of fact, give me Revelations 2:9, Malagma.
What kind, sir? I got you. Simón carnal. Ahorita te lo agarro aquí este verso.
Hey, we only know what you've been exposing, and you have exposed that you are an utterly disgusting bastard who got his rod sucked on by a grown man, and that's the reason why you're effeminate. A lot of your women are only with you because it is a negotiation between families. But I see how your women look at real men, and they look at you like a bestie.
Oh, I got it right here.
Go ahead, Malama.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation.
You know what?
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty. But thou art rich.
Now, Daniel, what does tribulation and poverty mean? What does that mean? Let's see if he answers. What does tribulation and poverty mean?
Asked you a question, Daniel.
No sweat.
He's not
going to
running.
answer, but
now he's running. Right.
Yeah. Jews are not in poverty. They're not in tribulation. Right? But Christ knows.
He said the
our
7
works.
years. Right.
But we are rich. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are rich because the kingdom of heaven belongs to us.
Right.
The Bible says that we shall take dominion of the. Go ahead, Malama, continue.
Okay. But thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not. Which the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Yes. Now he says the New Testament. Give me Jeremiah 14:2.
Come on.
Right, we could go to the Old Testament, no sweat.
It is right here, sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2.
Right.
Judah mourneth.
But we know of the wicked lie your people have spread. You understand? And you are of the synagogue of Satan. Go ahead, Malakma.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
They are what?
Black unto the ground.
That's right. Now, what does Qadar mean in the Hebrew? Since you speak Hebrew, what does Qadar mean in the Hebrew? Let's see if he's gonna be truthful.
What does Qadar mean, Daniel? Because he said he said you haven't proved any point except you can't read Hebrew and you are not Israelites.
No sweat.
He said, my people are in Jerusalem now. If that's your people,
because
right?
your people are bastards.
Right.
And this is the thing that the Bible says that when Israel goes back to the Holy Land, there shall be peace. Why is there a war in the Middle East?
Right. And I'm pretty sure there
you
would
understand
be
why? Because
right.
you are imposters.
Right.
It means to mourn. No, it does not. It means dark skin. Right? It means black in color. That's what it means. Stop lying. Talking about you know Hebrew. You don't know Hebrew.
Right. What's the Bible say when it, right?
It says it means as of burnt skin. That's what it means. It means of burnt skin. Who has burnt skin on earth? Blacks and Hispanics. The sun kisses our skin, man. But you and your people, you guys are getting cancer out there in our holy land. Because the Most High wants to eradicate you bastards from the Holy Land. You understand?
Right.
No sweat, Malama. You want to add to it?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, right? Not only is there peace, there's no peace, there's war, right? There's also, what are they doing in Tel Aviv? Having Pride Fests. You're supposed to be the chosen people, right? They're having Pride Fest there. You said you know the Hebrew. You didn't even know what Qadar meant.
You know Daniel was
right, yeah.
You know Daniel was prancing in Tel Aviv.
Was you at that Pride Fest,
he
Daniel?
Just came from prancing.
Right. Was you at that Pride Fest in Tel Aviv?
He was.
Huh? How they say the Tel Aviv, whatever they freaking talk? What
he says that they aren't good Jews, but you're bragging about them being in Jerusalem,
right?
What the hell are they doing? But committing profane vanity because they're sexual deviants, just like your rabbis.
He said he's not a mariposa.
You know what I mean? The Bible says this. And give me Isaiah 3. Let me see. Is that the one I want? Yeah, 3 and 9. Give me Isaiah 3 and 9.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 9. The shoe of their countenance, the witness against them. And they declared their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
Right? You could see it in your people's face. And it does witness against you. That you guys have declared sin as Sodom. You guys are sodomites.
Right.
And you hide it not.
Right. That's why they're doing that in Tel Aviv.
Your people love to prance, love to put your mouth on baby rods. You know what I mean? You guys really don't desire women. You desire, man, I don't even want to say that. You desire children, man. That's what you and your people are on the Epstein file.
If you're defending that act, then you are one.
My people are disgusting because they have assimilated to your lifestyles.
Right.
You understand? Because for a long time, they have been without a priest. But now you have men who Commanding General Yohana has raised up to be holy priest of God. You understand? And we're getting our people back to serve the Most High God.
Right. Damn right.
Your lifestyle is utterly disgusting.
Right.
You understand? But go ahead, Karnal.
So like he said, he says he loves the box more than us, right? Because I don't know if I can say the word. That box don't love you, Daniel. That's all I could tell you, man. That box does not.
You know why?
Go ahead. No, go ahead, sir. You got it.
No, the box don't love you, Daniel, because a lot of your women, you know what I mean? They want to go with a man who does not have to take pills to perform, or you know what I mean? You and your people always have to use man, what are those
the rhino, what are the performance enhancing pills?
No, but just in general, what are those like those pills called? Like overall, like not medicine, but
the Viagra.
Oh man, no. Just in general. It's like I have it here, Salakia. Nah, man, Salakia. Anyways, man.
But yeah, the box don't love y'all, man. That's
your
for
people
sure.
Always have to use enhancement because you guys
male enhancement.
You guys
there
suffer
you go.
from deficiency. Yeah, there you go. Male enhancement because you and your people suffer from deficiencies.
Right. He said we're just haters.
and your women don't want you.
Oh, what happened? Good night.
That is disgusting, man. Look,
this
vato. I'm not gonna say vato because he's not a.
You're not a vato,
but this sodomite is gonna turn out to be like Chud.
Yeah,
Chud. I'm pretty sure he has a picture of himself in a tutu in a fairy suit. Pretty sure this sodomite gets pegged, right? If another man has put his mouth on his rod, I'm pretty sure he desires to be pegged as well, man, because they're sexual deviants. That's the spirit of the oppressor.
And this is the problem with you Edomites, right? Especially you Amalekites. He said, I had Latinas before. Let me tell you, them Latinas don't love you. They fear you. That's really what it is, Daniel. They don't love you. They fear you. They only get with you because they see you as they're tired of poverty. They're tired of the hell that you put them through, but they're not attracted to you in the way that you think. You understand? They don't really want you. It's all fear. They don't love you. Not your own women don't love you. That's why y'all out there all angry and bitter, right? That's why you hate so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans so much. That's why you have to talk about, you know, how you had better Latina women than us. She wasn't attracted to you. She was just using you. That's it, Daniel. Best believe she'd rather be with a Latino man, you understand, than to be with you. And that's really what it is. But because of the oppression, because of the hell, right? She goes with you. Because she's thinking of the money you have, but not the person you are, because you're probably really a horrible person. You understand?
Right.
You and white Christians are the same. Go ahead, sir.
No, go ahead, Malama. You got it.
You said you have us confused with white Christians. You're the same. To us, you're the same. Salaki.
You absolutely right.
Right.
And there's the thing that okay, you are I Malak Yath. That's who you are. You come from Idawam. That's your progenitor, Idawam. And you are a descendant of I Malak Yath, or I Malak. That's who you descend from. If you are so-called Jew-ish,
Salaki, sir.
Now, look, he's a liar. He said Jewish never oppressed Hispanics.
I just showed, yeah.
You're lying, man. We're finding out about all the truth. The same way America trained Hispanics to go against each other, right? They did it in El Salvador. They did it in South America, Mexico. It's the same way. We're just finding out that the Jewish are providing weapons to Mexico. The Jewish trained El Pozolero on how to dissolve bodies, because there's not a unaliver like your people.
Right.
Your people are the best unalivers.
Right.
And we only right. It is all a learned behavior, and that's the reason why you find Black and Hispanics trying to live like your people.
Right. If I could, sir, I have something right here to bring out, right? Because he said they never oppress
he said
us Latinos, right? Go ahead, sir. This is what I found, right? About Christopher Columbus. It says Christopher Columbus was likely a Sephardic Jew from Western Europe. According to a definitive 22-year-old forensic DNA study led by Spanish scientists, this genetic research challenges the long-accepted traditional history that the explorer was an Italian born in Genoa, right? Or in Genoa, however you want to pronounce it. I'm sorry, I don't got perfect English, right? For you oppressors out there. Instead, scientists believe he concealed his Jewish identity, or his family converted to Catholicism, becoming conversos to escape brutal religious persecution during the Spanish Inquisition. So that's where you had a hand in our oppression. Christopher Columbus, yeah, and that's your people, Daniel. Christopher Columbus is your ancestor or forefather, whatever you want to call him. That's your nation. That's one. Two, here's another fact that I'm going to bring out. Right? Because he said they had no hand in our oppression, right? Here's another thing that they had a hand in.
And if I could, while you're grabbing that, Malakma, that he said that his people were put on ovens. That's white on white crime, man. You understand? That's white on white crime, and this is the thing, that your people got put in ovens because you guys were full of lice. It wasn't to unalive you guys. It was because you guys had hella lice.
Right.
You guys didn't bathe. We have to teach you and your people how to maintenance.
Now look at this, right? I asked Google, right? Did the Israeli government have a hand in the cartels in Mexico? And it says this, right? It says the Israeli government had no documented history of directly collaborating with or supporting drug cartels in Mexico. What happened, Salakia? Look at him, look at him. All mad. All mad.
No, go ahead, Karna.
It says, however, official investigations and human rights reports show that Israeli weapons, spyware, and training programs originally sold legally to the Mexican government have frequently leaked or been diverted into the hands of criminal organizations. Additionally, private Israeli mercenaries operating independently of their state have historically aided Latin American drug organizations. The legal arms trade and cartel diversion. The main link between Israel and Mexican cartel firepower stems from official state-sanctioned military sales to Mexico that lack proper end-use tracking. Massive weapon sales between 2006 and 2018. Israel legally sold over 24,000 firearms and rifles to the Mexican military and police forces. The black market leak. Due to corruption and weak internal tracking within the Mexican institutions, a significant number of these states purchased weapons such as IWI, Galil, and Tavor rifles have been stolen or illegally diverted directly to major syndicates like the Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación. So we're seeing you arm Mexico with weapons that go to the cartels. That's your government. That's your nation. That's your people, Daniel, that are aiding the violence in Mexico and in Latino America. So you say you didn't have a hand in our oppression? You absolutely did. You have a hand. You have oppressed so-called Latinos, Daniel. Why are you trying to lie? Why are you trying to lie and deny it? You understand? You're supposed to be the so-called people of God. You should be bringing order to the world. Right? You should be bringing order to the world, yet you're disrupting the world. You're disrupting everything everywhere. Anywhere you have a hand, it goes to chaos. Yeah, in Israel, how is Israel right now? Israel is not at peace. Israel is in chaos. It's supposed to be in order, right? It's supposed to be in order. You have it, and it's not in order. Your nation did. What light are you spreading? You're spreading the fire from the sky? That's the light you're spreading? You're spreading the evil, the fire, and all that. You're the beast that the Bible's talking about that can make fire rain down from the sky, man. Which are, what is it? All those weapons y'all have. Y'all bomb schools of children in Iran, right? You bomb schools of children, talking about you trying to go after the terrorist state. You bomb refugee camps, trying to say that you're looking for Hamas, but you spreading the light. We're the ones spreading the evil. We haven't harmed anybody. We haven't harmed anyone. We haven't oppressed anyone. All we do is tell you the truth of who you are, Daniel. That's all we do. You know what I mean? And to you, that's evil. Meanwhile, you go drop bombs on people. That's what you do. So, like, Officer Kamada, are you there?
Yeah, Kankanad, I sent you a clip. I put it on the on the group chat, Kanad. If you could play that for Daniel, let's see what Helen Thomas has to say about him and his people in Israel. And then she got canceled after she said this. Play when you got it, Karna.
Come on, concert. Salak, you sent it to. Okay, here we go. Found it.
I put it in Inconvenient Truth.
Hell no.
You do not.
I'm a Semite.
You're a Semite yourself.
Arab background.
Well, I know you're Lebanese background, right? But you're not Jewish.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, no, you say you're. I'm just trying to clarify.
They're not Semites. I mean, most of them are from Europe.
Mm-hmm. The Jews.
Yes.
Well, okay.
They're not being persecuted anywhere.
The Israelis.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why do they have to go anywhere?
The Jews.
The question was, any comments on Israel? That's what the question was. And you said, tell them to get the hell out of Palestine.
Right.
And then the rabbi who was interviewing you said, any better comments? And you said, remember, these people are occupied and it's their land, not Germany's, not Poland. So where should they go? He said. And you said,
why
go
do they
home.
have to go anywhere? They aren't being persecuted. They don't have the right to take other people's land. Under international law, occupied land should not be annexed.
But then maybe you should have said, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but maybe you should have said, well, the Israelis should stay in Israel. But you said they should go back to Poland and Germany.
Everything is distorted, but I don't care. You know,
you don't care at this point.
No, at hell, no.
Okay. Well, you got a lot of criticism for it. How did you deal with all of that criticism?
We have organized lobbyists in favor. You can't open your mouth. I can call the president of the United States anything in the book. But if you say one thing about Israel and you're off limits.
Well, that's what happened to you. I mean, the Society of Professional Journalists retired the Helen Thomas Lifetime Achievement Award.
Mm-hmm.
They said no individual worthy of such honor should have to face this controversy. No honoree should have to decide if the possible backlash is worth being recognized for his or her contribution to journalism. Are you offended by that?
By what?
The fact that they will not give this this award to anybody in your name?
Well, I mean, that's their decision, but I think it's stupid. Has nothing to do with my views about Israel.
Mm-hmm.
My achievements in journalism are a little separate.
Mm-hmm. So you have no regrets about what you said, even though I
have regrets that everybody's misinterpreted it and distorted it. And you have the Ari Fleischer and Abe Foxman distorting everything.
Salakia.
Well, one of the easiest questions to take care of, actually, is the 6 million Jews. These people, these Jews, if this
I got this one right now.
Jews, sorry, you would have to give the Jews credit for being more clever than the cat for having 9 lives, because there's Jewish gas Jews show up again and again and again all over the world, not just here. The Jewish Encyclopedia, which you can consult, and as you can see in all my literature, lists in 1932 and 33 only 2.5 million Jews.
Look at them run.
Everywhere that Hitler possibly could have been. There were only 2.5 million Jews, and yet he's accused of 6 million Jews in a 2.5 million Jew area. I would be very grateful if the Jews would explain this to me. They've never done it. I think the 6 million Jew stuff is the biggest of all the big lies that has ever been told. And while we're at that subject, let me point out that in Mein Kampf, we hear forever about Hitler's big lie. If you will read and study in Mein Kampf, if you look at the actual book, rather than just listen to Jews like William L. Shirer telling about it, you will discover that Hitler says in Mein Kampf that the Jews are the great masters of the lie, and he says that their biggest technique is what he calls the big lie technique, and he says it's vile. He not only didn't invent it, he doesn't advocate it, he says it is a filthy technique by which the Jews tell an enormous lie, and it's so big that nobody ever suspects them. That's exactly what's going on in our country today. What about this?
Costa, did you leave, Daniel? Did you run? Did you run away? Because I'm gonna read a scripture for you since you did that. You're long gone. Let me read a scripture for Daniel because he tried to be fun.
Another one.
You want? Okay, Kawakana. I'll play that clip
before you read it, if you could.
Kawakana, sir, and then we can close out.
Hey, Daniel,
that's a good way to close this.
Just one more video. I know these videos are hurting to your soul. I know these videos hurt you to your soul. But play the other video I sent you, Karna.
Let's see. Where is it? Where is Salakia? Let me put the right one on.
You got the other one?
Yeah, I got it right here.
I just put it in the Inconvenient Truth.
Yeah, I got it right here, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
The banya, which is a Russian word for a washroom. bathroom.
Bathroom, yeah, but it was a big one, a communal bathroom. It was huge, I would say. It was, the way I remember it, of course, I was little, but the way I remember it, I would say it was at least 30 by 30. It must have been built for that purpose, to wash us down like dogs.
But most people, of course, don't know is that the Germans had drawn a line from the Baltic, so actually from the North Cape virtually all the way down to the Bosporus.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that came across that line, whether he was German or Mennonite, Jews for that matter, anybody in Europe could not go across that line without being deloused, because they wanted to keep lice out of Europe.
That's right.
Lice were so dangerous to public health.
That's right. So that was
don't
the
feel
first...
badly, you know, you got that picked on because we were Mennonites or Lutherans.
Or the same for the cutting of hair. I mean, we were all shorn bald in order to stop the lice, the louse problem that we had. Everybody had lice in the war. You know, I mean, this was just common knowledge that everybody had lice, and then of course we had to be deloused and put into Germany.
So Jews cannot claim unique victim status.
No, they cannot. And when I hear the stories about them losing their hair, big deal. None of us had hair.
In Schindler's List is waiting for the gas to come in.
And all it
lo and
is
behold, all it was
salt and water came raining down on us in this great big, we call it banya, which is a Russian word for washroom.
Good night. Salagi.
He said his people got put in ovens. They didn't get put in ovens. They got put
in showers.
They bathe these motherfuckers, man. Oh man, they bathe these bastards, man. Hitler was like, man, these are utterly disgusting. My people are utterly disgusting. That's what Hitler said. You know, he's like, I gotta put them in sanitation rooms. I gotta bathe these bastards.
Right.
They got lice. They're full of lice. They stink. You know, they don't even wash themselves.
Right.
He said his people got put in ovens. You know, this is a real person that was in the camps.
Right.
And she said that they got put in sanitation rooms, washrooms.
Right.
You know, the oppressor,
right,
is the devil. The Bible speaks
That's
of,
right.
because all he knows is how to lie, right? How to manipulate stories. But the truth, the Most High will bring the truth into the light. You understand? But go ahead, Malam. Are you?
Yeah, I got a scripture for him because he was trying to be funny last time, right? I got a scripture for him. This is Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous stand bold as a lion. So you thought you was gonna be funny last time, right? Because I didn't bring you on, Daniel, Justin, whatever your name is. Proverbs 28:1 says, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion, and you ran away, Daniel, Justin, whoever you are, Esau, Amalek.
You know, but he claims to be Judah. Isn't Judah supposed to be a lion?
Right. Judah's supposed to be a lion, right?
You know, he's just a kitty cat. He's not a big cat.
Nah,
you know who's the big
rat?
Cat?
He's a rat, is what
the so-called
he is.
Negroes.
Right.
The so-called Negroes are the big cat, the lions.
Right.
You're a kitty cat. You understand?
Right.
You're an imposter.
Right. The sister said he don't know his own history.
Come on, man. Right.
He got mad. He got mad.
You got mad, carnal.
He got mad.
Heard him.
He was like this. Seeing all the response, he was like this. He's Big Cowboy concert. We're already 2 hours and 19 minutes in.
Yeah, we're at the top of the hour, carnal.
All right, Cowboy.
Yeah, let's close, man. Most High in Christ for the, you know what I mean?
Hey,
water while Yahweh shy. The water Yahweh while Yahweh shy, man.
Damn right. Damn right.
Kwam Yasha Allah, carnal.
Kwam Yasha Allah. But there you go, Raza. That's tonight's episode. Lord allow, we'll be back at it again next week. We have the link right there, man. I mean, he was doing all that typing. He could have always hit the link and come on. He saw it, man. A lot of y'all act like y'all don't see the link right there. It's right there. But y'all can hit the link and come on and have the conversation. You know, he tried to say we don't know our own history. We showed he doesn't know his history. We showed he doesn't know what tribe. He contradicted his history, saying he's from the tribe of Dan when Dan got absorbed into Manasseh. You know, and he lied, right? A lot of these Jewish
and
cats
that's the thing,
say
that they always want to. No, go ahead, because I like it.
No, he tried to say that it's from your mother when the Bible says in Numbers 1:18, your tribal affiliation comes from your father. You understand? By the house of their fathers. But go ahead, sir.
No, yeah, carnal. You know what I mean? Like he contradicted himself up and down. You know what I mean? Like there was no truth in him. He's an imposter. He's used to spilling lies, and everybody believes him. He wants to question us, but when he gets questioned, every time these bastards get questioned, they have no clue. They can't even explain how they're from the tribe of Judah and from the tribe of Levi. If it's from your mother, well, okay, so how, is she Judah? Is she Levi? Like, what is she? You understand? Like, come on, man.
Right.
But really, you're from the tribe of Amalek.
Right.
From the nation of Esau.
Right.
You understand? And again, which is the precept you pull, Malakma? The wicked flee?
Yeah, Proverbs 28:1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth.
That is a wicked bastard.
Right. Oh, we got someone just join us right now, real quick. Salaki, so we got somebody in the studio with us. We got Officer Bakad. Hey, Shalom, sir, you have Shabbat.
Yeah, Officer.
Hey, Shalom, you have Shabbat.
Hey, Shalom, Adawan.
How's it going, Aki?
What's going on, Adawan?
Not too much.
It's a while, sir.
Y'all rocking and rolling, huh? Can y'all hear me?
Khan.
Yeah, Khan, sir.
We hear you, sir.
Clear.
Yep. I was just hopping in. I'm just listening, man. But I'm just saying, what's up to y'all?
Okay. Oh, orderly. Hey, what's going on? It's like, sir.
Yeah, Khan, sir. It's a while.
So, like, sir, I don't know if you caught the show earlier. We were addressing some man by the name of Daniel Adamek Miller, who thought he was gonna try and conflict us. Or what is it? Try and cut us, but it backfired on him because the truth is with the ISUPK and not with these imposters.
That's right.
So damn right.
No, but I didn't catch that part. What was he trying to cut brothers with?
He was just trying to say that he tried to hit us with if we know Hebrew and this and that. You know what I mean? Started asking him like, what the answer is like, do you get the mitzvah pay performed on you? I think it's yeah.
Oh man,
that's the mitzvah pay is they do the fellatio.
Right, I know.
They do the fellatio on the babies and shit.
Yeah, that's always a cut to them, man.
Right. If I could, right. He said he was from the tribe of Judah, Levi, and Dan.
And we started cutting them with the videos.
Right.
Good night.
That's wild.
Right.
I was telling him like, if you know where Dan is, where are the rest of the tribes?
Right. Yeah, man. Those people, they definitely a different kind of people, man. That's why they're the head tribe of Esau, because they're the most foul. You know what I mean? That's why they have to take on our culture to mask how evil they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like only.
So like, sir, if I could. Yeah. No, go ahead, sir. Like, sir, go ahead.
No. The last thing is that only an evil like an foul creature could take on steal the identity of the Lord's chosen people and take the Bible and use it for evil. You know what I'm saying? You have to be completely corrupted, and that's what they are. So on the outside, they have to appear like they're righteous, but if they really serve the Lord, that would hurt them. You know what I'm saying? So Satan can't cast out Satan. They have to do even more evil things just to make themselves feel good for being filthy and trying to be like, you know what I'm saying, niggas and, you know what I'm saying, Latinos. Like that mask of them hiding themselves as Jews,
right,
and internally it's killing them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
God, damn right.
But if I could, sir, I want to send a shout out to you because you have posted this a while back. I forgot what group chat it was, but you have posted about Eleazar and Yehuda,
right?
And you know what I mean, when he brought up that Hebrew shit, you know what I mean, I went straight to that. So you know, I want to shout you out for presenting that and you know bringing that to the light, and I kept that in the tuck. I brought it out tonight.
Okay, Most High Christ. Yeah, I was gonna say that right now too. That they don't say nothing about them not knowing Hebrew for thousands of years, hundreds of years, and they just learned it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even the real Hebrew anyway, but you know the bastardized version of our language, and the majority of them didn't even speak it up until the 1960s.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But does that make them not Jews according to that logic? If you don't speak Hebrew, does that mean you're not a Jew? You know, another one I hate that they do. Have you ever been to Israel? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, how does that make you not an Israelite if you've never been there?
That's how he was talking in the comments.
Right.
Right. He said the Lord dispersed his people. What the hell are you doing in the land of Israel? and Judah fled in 70 AD.
Exactly.
You understand? I forgot to bring that up. But you kind of the water for that cut.
Most High Christ, man. That's all it is, man.
Right.
It's the Lord. I see y'all rocking late night though.
Sir.
I was wondering if it was really live. I'm like, man, this is really live, huh?
We gotta go live when we can, man.
Yeah,
you know,
we did
we did a late night show tonight, man.
For sure. I've been saying I want to ride with y'all, man. So we definitely making waves into San Jose. I ain't gonna I'm on your show and shit. Y'all tell me what y'all talking about, man. But we definitely making waves into San Jose out here. And y'all always welcome to come up here. We're going to camp and stuff. So just let me know, man. We really want to push this.
Come on.
So, man. Lord, I'll be up there soon. I don't want, you know what I mean? She'll be out there, you know. Haven't had my chance to get out there yet.
Yeah. Whatever y'all need, man, just let me know. And like I said, definitely want to push this black and brown unity.
Damn right.
All across the board. Right. So whatever assistance I can be on here, I just want to tap in, lock in more with the brothers, man.
If I could, I don't want them. I actually at the beginning of the show brought out, right? I was gonna say real quick, right? I brought out how Cinco de Mayo is tied in with Black liberation. You know,
right?
Like a lot of people don't know that. You know that the Battle of Puebla, like in defeating the French, stopped the French from helping reinforce the Confederacy.
You
know, so
in the war against the Civil War,
in the Civil War. Because France was trying to be allies with the Confederacy.
Damn. Okay. So I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I learned it. Like I was like, the brother brought that out to me. He's like, good night.
It's so much stuff that they hide and from us, man. I was reading a book. It's called I think post-traumatic slave syndrome or something, and they said they put laws in Oregon to make it illegal for Blacks and Native Americans to marry each other or live around each other and come together. And the senator, the Edomite, said, because if a coalition of Blacks and Native Americans come together, they're going to attack these Edomites, you know what I'm saying? And they don't want that. So they've known for a long time to keep us divided, you know. And one of the heaviest things a brother told me a long time ago, I don't know if anybody's ever said it this way, but it just changed everything for me. He was like, you know, we say we're trying to teach so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, but we're really only teaching two tribes, you know what I'm saying, or two factions, blacks and Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? We just say Latinos because Latinos have that identity, you know what I mean? But we're talking about Native Americans that live in Latino communities and countries, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just two sticks, you know what I'm saying? And when I talk to different Latino brothers, you know, I tell them, I'll pull any Judite walking by, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell them this stuff like, hey, we're the same people. I'll pull a random Judite and say, hey, come here. I don't even know who you are, man. But tell me this. Has someone in your family said you have Native American in your family? Every Judite is going to say, yeah. I'm like, see? We're the same, you know what I'm saying? We always have been the same. It's just blacks and natives, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Indigenous, I mean?
Concept.
Okay.
What's the lock here?
No sweat. I don't want. There you go.
Con, sir.
So like y'all should coming down. We gonna bring anything else out?
Nah.
So like, sir, you want anything else you wanted to bring out, sir?
Nah, that's it, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Keep doing it. Keep tilling the ground. Keep it going, man. I appreciate y'all hard work, man. I love this show. You know, Inconvenient Truth, and definitely, like I was watching a little bit when y'all were talking about Cinco de Mayo and trying to get updated and understand. So I'm gonna tap in as much as possible.
Okay, now, so like, y'all don't want them. Definitely next time I'll hit you up so you can come join us, man.
Please, you know? Baba Kashab, man. Let me know.
Khan, most definitely.
All right.
But so like, so yeah, we about to close out. We've been live for the past 30 minutes.
That's why I was like, because, you know, sometimes they say on YouTube it'll be live. I'm like, is it really live or is it from earlier and they just went live? And I saw the link. I'm like, man, let me try and see this link. I didn't even know if it was going to go through. So,
man, you just came a few minutes earlier, man. You could have got in on this Amalekite right here, man.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'll salute y'all out, man. Shalom, y'all.
Hey, yep, sure with that one. Orderly, man. That's what's up, man. We had our Sarpakad join us at the end, man. Come. But still like it, yeah, we can close it out, man. It's already going to be.
What's on Christ?
But with that, Rasa, man, we'll be back at it again next week. Lord allow, man. We're going to be going more live more often. I'm going to see what other channels and platforms we could stream to so we can have more people join in, man. Definitely want y'all to get in and tap in with us, man, so we can have conversations online, man. You know, they can get heated, whatever, man. You want to show brotherhood, or you want to, you know, what they say, they want that biblical smoke, no sweat. Come tap in and drop a comment or a question. But with that, man, this is the Inconvenient Truth 1969 on all what is it, social media platforms. That's how you can find us. Our email is the Inconvenient Truth 1969@gmail.com to contact us and, you know, follow us, man. Subscribe. Tune into our channel on YouTube, on all the social media platforms, man. Hit a follow, man. Subscribe, man. But with that, man, we'll be back at it again next week. Shalom, Rasa.
Shalom.
All right.
Jehová, tu Dios, te ha escogido para hacerle un pueblo especial. Jehová, tu Dios, te ha escogido para hacerle un pueblo especial.
un pueblo. No está hablando de los chinos, no está hablando de los árabes, no está hablando de los japoneses, de nosotros. Nosotros somos la gente más odiada en este mundo, más odiada. Y toda la gente les